Hey guys, it's Jag. Welcome back to the arcade. Let's get back to just another game, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, in post-commentary mode. Because as you probably hear, the soundtrack is not the Hub World soundtrack you're used to. I'll get into more about that into a minute. First, let's get into 3-5 Twilight Terror and get the first of the secret exits out of this level. This one will take us to 3-A, and it requires you to keep your partner Kong for the entire level. I'll explain more about that once we get there, but usually, and it may be required, I take Dixie with me on this. But since I take Dixie with me on everything, experiment. She may not be the required Kong. As you can see, we've made it through the level and we're above the normal gold barrel, but we want to swim below the normal gold barrel. Collect a few bananas and a few goodies while we're down here. And we're also going to pay tribute to our little fishy friend who tried to eat us, hit his head, and drowned. Poor fishy. Rip in pieces. Anyways, now that we have Dixie here, we can fight this current. By holding A, she will turn her pigtails into propellers. And that will allow you to swim through this current and get to the secret exit. Once inside, all you have to do is punch the gold barrel, and we're good. We're off to 3-A. Now, I have my OBS idling at 3-A, so you will at least hear the soundtrack for this level as we're going through it. But my post-processing software corrupted almost immediately after I started recording initially, and I did not notice it until I was done, which means all of that commentary is lost. So this was the compromise that I came up with to try to salvage this gameplay, because everything is auto-saved and I didn't want you guys seeing me collecting a bunch of ghost puzzle pieces. I have a few ideas on how to address this situation in the future. I may just start recording my audio with Audacity instead of OBS. But as for now, this is about the best that I could come up with so that you guys can at least experience most of what these levels are about. Now, the game suggests Diddy Kong, and I actually decided to go with Diddy Kong over Dixie Kong just to see if it made this level a little bit easier. Plus, we hadn't played Diddy in forever, so I decided to give him some exercise. This level has a very simple mechanic that it runs into the ground. Machines. Grab things like this vine, and those things like those platforms will lower or move or rotate. Other platforms require your weight, like this set here. If you stand on the lower one, it will lower the upper one. Once you get off the lower platform, it returns to normal. This level is kind of terrible for Donkey to solo. It seems like a lot of this was balanced around either knowing what was going to happen when you stood on these machines, or having a partner Kong to help you out if you did not and you made a mistake. But Donkey by himself is very difficult, and right here is our first secret room. This secret room has a new twist we haven't seen before. Bananas are on Mega Man platforms, and so Donkey really struggles here if you don't have a partner Kong. If I have any complaints about this, and I have this game, and I have several, Donkey was not really balanced well. It doesn't feel, and this was something that I've heard is also a problem in the first Donkey Kong Country Returns. It doesn't feel like these levels were designed for Donkey to solo. Unlike the tag team playstyle of the 3 games on the Super Nintendo, when you can solo it with almost anybody, there are a bunch of levels where it feels like a particular partner Kong is required, and in fact that actually annoys me a little bit about the 2 bonus levels that we played today. And as you can see, I just lost Diddy, which means my frustration is already leveling up, because I have to go through this entire level without him. We get the K there, and there is nothing in this group of bananas except a banana coin, which we have tons of. Now these 2 vines. The first one will rotate the platform, but the second one causes the spikes to retract. There's a cannon under there that will lead you to the second puzzle piece, so do not miss it. Do not rush through this area. Both of those vines are relevant to your interests. Now we do want to head on to the first checkpoint, and this is where I start getting into the first frustrating part of this level. Now all of these mechanical contraptions are stacked on each other now that you know, are expected to know how they work. Now things are going to be happening very quickly and you have to be ready for them. Jump on that lower platform, grab the vine, immediately let go, jump on the lower platform and jump on that platform there that just lowered before it raises again, if you want this up. And I missed the owl that you have to bounce off of, so I decided to kill myself immediately. Now we're going to make a second attempt. I assumed that at some point I was going to die again, but in case I didn't, I decided to grab the O just in case. So this time I actually do manage to bounce off the owl properly, grab that O, and we're on our way. Now we need to throw these water balloons at these targets, which will move a conveniently located platform, and we end up in this little mini game area. This is actually not required for a puzzle piece or anything for 100% completion, which is good because I am terrible at it. If you throw at that target, a vine lowers. The vine, if you grab onto it, will release bananas. You need to grab all of the bananas before they disappear, and even in practice, I've failed at this completely. Usually I left at least one or two behind. I believe that we actually do this in the co-op mode, and it just releases one-ups. Now we need to grab this guy, stand on a platform and tilt it down so that we can hit that target properly. This will rotate us across. And now we're stacking mechanics. We need to get on that upper platform to move this lower platform into position, grab the vine to rotate that wheel, jump off this owl, and then immediately take a hit and die. That archer penguin right there is dickishly placed, because he manages to launch his arrows right as you're rotating down into his line of fire. It is amazing how well they planned this. And as you can see right here, I assumed that I was going to die again, and when I missed this N, or this O, I decided not to kill myself and go back for it. I decided to continue on because I figured I was going to die again. We'll see how well that worked out for me, but as you can tell, it probably didn't. Anyways, usually, even in practice, that archer penguin either killed me or caused me to take a hit, and it was a while before I figured out exactly what kind of timing you have to risk to avoid being hit. Anyways, now that we're rotating our way back around to where we were before, jump on that penguin. He should have worn a helmet. Never leave house without a helmet, guys. Jump on this owl. Fat Albert. If you're watching the co-op, you get that joke. And now we kill this archer penguin, and there is probably the only heart in the level that I ever found. But if we grab onto these vines, we want to follow them up. Grab onto this vine, and we enter a hidden cove with our third puzzle piece. So do not miss that. As we come back out, we're going to jump in this barrel, and you will see the N letter. You're going to have to fire your way out of this barrel, jump off the chicken, and hit that N. So once you fire the barrel, hold down A, and you will bounce off automatically. Also, do not go in that grass. There is a fire hedgehog, and it is a trap. You can not see him in there unless he's on fire. Anyways, we're going to jump on these platforms so that we go under the owl, and we get into a new barrel cannon. Hold down your grab button so that you grab that vine before you leave the barrel, because the fourth puzzle piece is there, and it rotates around nicely, and now we have the checkpoint. Now things are going to be happening very quickly. We want to take out this chicken with the water fruit balloon things, and then we're going to want to grab onto that vine, and I missed. There we go. Grab onto the vine, it will pull that target below us into position. We want to hit it, then grab back onto the vine and jump onto this platform before it rotates back. You do not have much time to do that. We're going to fight this guy 1v1. It's actually become second nature for me to roll into those guys rather than lure them into a wall. Now these targets flip over. There's a platform on the other side. You want to obviously jump on that and get to safety before it flips back. And now we have to do this twice in a row, and I actually did not grab the water balloon that I'm going to need. So here we go again, take two. And there we go. Now we want to get on these platforms and get off of these platforms before you take a hit, but you want to get onto this vine, get back up to this upper platform, and grab that G before the platform rotates back to its original position. Now that we have most of the Kong letters, except for the O, and I do not realize this until I get to the gold barrel, and I was very excited to see that. But there is one more puzzle piece that we can grab before we get into the barrel cannon. Mow all this grass, and there it is. Now get into the barrel cannon, hold down the grab button so that you grab the vine in mid-flight. You will raise the gate. You then need to get back into the barrel cannon and do not hold the button, otherwise you do that, and then you ruin your timing and smack into the wall. We actually had quite a bit of trouble with this in the co-op Let's Play, and as you can see, the series of events that you need are not quite organic enough for me to pull off. There we go. It actually takes me 2 more tries to get all of the Kong letters, because the second time I went through this, I did not get the N and I didn't realize it. And so I had to go back a 3rd time and play through this level a 3rd time to get all of the Kong letters, and I was severely salty about that. Right here about this point is when my salt level is maximum, but we're done with the level and we're never going to speak of it again. Now, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to show off the secret exit to 3B. Now this one is going to be in the middle of 3.5, and I actually showed it off earlier, the first time we went through the level. But since we're officially wanting to unlock 3B, I decided to show it off again just for people who might have missed it. And while this is going to play, you're going to hear a bunch of noises in the background. That is me on OBS swapping over to the level that we're going to play in order to have 3B's soundtrack going properly. So pardon me for a minute. And now we're inside 3B on our way. Not the most organic way to do this, but this was the best I could come up with, because neither 3A nor 3B have their soundtracks actually part of the game, or part of the official soundtrack. Alright, so now we're set up there. And as you can see, we're going through the level into the first secret exit, and you either need Cranky or Dixie to get up here, because Diddy cannot jump high enough to get up here. It's kind of frustrating that you need 2 specific Kongs to get to this. I actually consider it bad level design, but it is what it is. It's not a decision that I would have made. And if you hear that noise right now, Donkey just pulled out a 3DS, and he and Diddy are entertaining themselves. Anyways, we've unlocked 3B Bramble Scramble. And if I was good at post-commentary, I would have timed everything to line up, but this is the first post-commentary I've ever done, so I'm doing the best I can with what I have. Anyways, this level is basically built for Cranky. It is one of the few levels that is built for Cranky, and that's kind of disappointing. I like using Dixie. As you saw, there is a puzzle piece up there. You saw it out of sight. That's how you get to it. I like using Dixie because, as far as I'm concerned, she's the best partner Kong. She has the height advantage, which also gives her the distance advantage that Diddy would offer with his jetpacks, but she can't land on Bramble. And a lot of the collectibles here actually require for you to jump off of Bramble or spiky objects. So for the time being, we are going to use Cranky. In a minute, we're going to see exactly how Cranky is useful, but this level, overall, I actually kind of liked it. I really feel like having a level built around Cranky Kong makes Cranky a token character, but Cranky can pogo jump off of those plants whether or not their mouths are open. Any other Kong has to wait for their mouths to close to avoid taking damage, but Cranky's Kang protects you from the teeth. Anyways, now that we have that Kong letter, we're going to collect all of the bananas on this plant, very easily get our second puzzle piece, and then bouncy platform time, which I actually do pretty well at. Come on, me. Get the rhythm. There we go. And bounce off of this guy. Cranky's there just in case. And I believe that if you collect all of those bananas, all you get is a banana coin. There is nothing more for us here, so we're just going to pull out this plug and get a single banana. I like the idea of this level building itself around you as you progress. It's a little bit nerve-wracking. Now, do not jump in that barrel cannon that you see right away. If you look closely, there is a vine swaying above us and to our left. We want to grab onto that. I said grab onto that. Don't fail. There we go. It raises that in the distance with a barrel cannon to get to it. If we collect all of the bananas, we will get a puzzle piece. So you can bypass this one very easily because that vine is cleverly hidden, which is the polite word that I will use for that. And those spike wheels will hurt you. I do end up taking a hit just for expediency. And then off we go to get the puzzle piece and blast back to the regular level. And now that we're done with that, I was just checking to see what Kong letters I have. Now we're off to the first checkpoint, and another. You would think that if you got all of the bananas, it would lead to another puzzle piece, but it doesn't. They're just bananas. You don't have to worry about missing any of them. But you do want to bounce off of that owl's head. There is a hidden cove in there with our next mini game. And this is the one with the cannons and the trampoline platforms. And I end up spending a lot of time trapped in this lower area. And I believe I just decided to kill myself because there was no way I was going to be able to get the upper bananas in time. As you can see, I'm about 12 seconds and I've got too much to get. And it was about this point that I realized there's no way. So I just take a dive. I do get a 1-up for that still though, which is good. I will always take any 1-ups that I get. And at this point, I believe that to get this O... No, I did refresh Cranky's health, but to get this O, Cranky's not that good at it. This is one collectible where you need a different Kong. And that was actually a legitimate attempt to try to get over there without landing on the upper platform, and obviously I failed. So since I did die, I decided to make another attempt at this this mini game over here. And frankly, out of everything in the game that I have to go back and replay, I hate these mini games. I hate these mini games the most of all. I get that they're traditional, but they are so frustrating. I don't mind like challenges to get puzzle pieces, but these mini games are the worst. As you can see, I was not paying attention to which way the cannon was pointed, and that was not a legitimate dive, that was just me screwing up and killing myself. But to get this O letter, I grabbed Dixie, because she makes it much easier to get this O letter, and if you time it properly, you don't have to damage boost to get through. We'll grab this banana coin, then jump on this platform, and fly over and under and bounce, and there we go. Much easier than trying to do that with Cranky. Now, one thing that I do appreciate with Retro, like Rare before them, they do not lead you into traps. That banana down there actually leads to the next puzzle piece. If you jump in, there is a cannon, and there it is. So you go back and replay this little short segment. One puzzle piece richer. That's an example of good game design, and I'm glad that Retro took that inspiration from Rare. If nothing else, Retro really did a good job at continuing Rare's legacy with the Donkey Kong series. And, you know, I'm actually kind of glad about that because it made me really sad when Rareware left for XBLA, especially or Xbox, especially when they didn't really find the success that they had with Nintendo, and they really didn't do much of note. In here is another Hidden Cove, by the way. They really didn't do much of note until they got back together and they did Yooka-Laylee. And Yooka-Laylee may have had its flaws. It may have been short, it may have been repetitive, but it really felt like they were celebrating after so many years getting back together in the studio and all doing something that they enjoyed working together on. It was like, I don't know if I was reading too much into it, but to me when I was playing through the game, it really felt like they were celebrating finding old friends and they going back to working on the style of game that they enjoyed working on. And that's just something that I got from the little in-jokes and all the other stuff, but it really made me happy to play that game. It felt like they were going back to what they were known for, and they were enjoying it, and honestly, that made me feel like I was playing a piece of my childhood again, and I was really super happy about that. Even though Yooka-Laylee had its flaws, it was the style of game that made me smile, and smile the entire way through. And there is the end that I almost do not have to damage boost through, but above us, am I going to heal myself? Yeah, no. Okay, above us is a Hidden Cove with our next minigame, and this has the minigame that I like. The platforms just move side to side, there's nothing to bounce off of especially, there's no cannons to fire me into the abyss. All I have to do is very slowly and very carefully walk from platform to platform, make easy jumps, and get the bananas, and I don't have to expose just how bad at these minigames I really am. And there we go. I believe that this is, other than the minigame that we failed, this is, yes, we have 6 out of 7, so we are just headed for the end of the level, and I'm just checking my letters again there. Still have to get the G, but the only thing that we missed was that one puzzle piece, so, you know, I'll take it. And I will take a Cranky, because I believe that I need Cranky to get the G reliably, so even though I take the hit there, and I actually kind of trapped myself here. Yeah, I expect this guy to go out a lot earlier than he ever does. He's perfectly happy with walking around on fire, making me hurdle him over and over and over and over again, and he actually does not put himself out until now. So this is for you being a dick, dude. And there's the G. The trick to this one is, in theory, you need to bounce on the upper owl, but you can just kind of bounce across on the lower owl too. Like that. Very simple, very easy to get that G if you move quickly. And now we're going to have a little bit of a Shantae moment. Anyone who's seen my Shantae Let's Play, and I almost wait too late. In fact, I do wait too late and I get a little bit anxious, but this should look familiar to anyone who's seen Shantae and the Pirate's Curse. And that's it for this level. As we head out of here, the only thing that we have to go back to do is to do that one little mini game. We have all of the Kong letters and 6 out of 7 puzzle pieces. So in a minute, that's exactly what I'm going to show us doing. And we also unlock the temple here, but we're not going to be doing that for a while. Alright, as we head back into here, I do want to, I hope that this post-play commentary is alright for you guys. It's not something that I'm always going to want to do, or even want to do in the first place, but I hope that the video comes out passable for you guys, because this was about the best solution that I could come up with to recover this gameplay. In the future, hopefully I won't run into this issue again, but I know that there were some odd sounds and odd sound effects in the background. I did what I could. And right now I was going to be really upset if that last banana bunch did not line up with the cannon and I ran out of time because I couldn't legitimately get to it. But we finally get that last puzzle piece, and as is our custom, I cut out here to the gold barrel just to show that we are fully done with the level. We have to get past this bramble again. And that's where I wait too late. You can see I got crushed. I panicked. And back through here, and back to the gold barrel, and we are done with this level. 100% complete. And that's it, guys. We're gonna call it an episode here. Thanks for joining me. I hope you enjoyed it, even though it's not ideal. I appreciate your patience, and we'll see you in the next episode. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you guys later.